What it do? It's your boy Crypto Bro 9000, and I'm back at you with another segment of that OG crypto funk. How do you say XRP without saying XRP? The Bank of International Settlements, emphasizing that a third-party currency with sufficient liquidity is essential for efficient cross-border payments. This aligns perfectly with XRP's role in Ripple's model as an independent and neutral bridge asset that removes dependence on fragmented correspondent banking. The BIS is effectively outlining the very problem that XRP was built to solve. Check it out.
With all that in mind, how do we deal with this issue of exchange rates and interoperability? How do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in three different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions, even within the same currency, and that presents a certain level of challenges there. But when we talk about cross-currency and cross-border, then we face a completely difficult and different environment, and we can see three dimensions here. One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental. The second dimension, which is much more complicated to solve. So that one, the first one was the easy one, okay? And there is a lot of money that is being put in terms of trying to solve these technical issues of interoperability. Now, the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled. The third dimension, which is even more difficult than the previous one, is how do we manage to get homogeneity in terms of the policy requirements on different countries. And this becomes even more complicated when we think about, for example, AML-CFT and principles-based policies, and when we think about risk-based policies. We can code things that are very clearly stated, but when we're talking about principles-based regulation, this thing becomes really complicated, especially in an environment, as Tom said, in which 110 nations might have 110 different ways of looking at this. So we need work in these three dimensions: technology, liquidity, and also, and more importantly, probably in the policy side of things. Think about AML-CFT, but also think about privacy. Different countries have very different views on this.
They just linked up the whole thing. XRP, baby. You know what I'm saying? The business emphasis on liquidity and neutrality underscores the potential for XRP to reduce friction costs and enhance interoperability. XRP. This one right here is from that girl Amelie. XRP ledger secures major win, powering China's top supply chain firm. They just hooked up with LinkLogis. LinkLogis is a titan in supply chain finance. And what they did, they just integrated the XRPL into their global platform by tokenizing invoices and using XRPL decentralized mainnet. They are supercharging liquidity and transparency in trillions of trade flow. That's right, I said trillions with a T. All the while, smart contracts and stablecoins gotta be on deck. Is XRPL a global settlement powerhouse yet? Or no? It's all over Asia now. South Korea custody to Japan stablecoin push. 27 countries on board already. So don't even hate. You know what I like about the Trump administration? I love the beauty of its ability to just reach out and try to find different ways that are outside the box that other administrations before, they just didn't do it. Let's take this for instance. Here we have Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick coming up with a great idea.
Patents. We have given tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars to universities for them to do research, and they invent things. And you know who owns those patents? The universities. So we are going to make a deal with them all, which is if we give them the money, don't you think it's fair that the United States of America and the taxpayers who funded it get a piece of that? Right? So we wrote a letter to Harvard, so Linda and I working together. I mean, it's so much fun to work with everybody here. I mean, we just have a blast, you know, because Linda's hitting Harvard and she says, what can we do? And now we send them a patent letter and we'll hit them again. So we're having fun together. This is the greatest cabinet working for the greatest president. And I just want to say thank you. I'm having the time of my life working for you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yeah, you got all of these billions of dollars, right? Pouring into these universities. They're doing research and they're getting all the dough. The backer should always get a cut of the money, right? I mean, you're investing seed money and you ain't getting no money back, nothing on the return. What's that, free money? Where they do that at? See, this is putting power back in the hands of the people. And it's time to share the wealth. You know, it's just, I don't know where they do that at. Snap just in. Publicly traded LinkLogis shares went up 23% in the past 24 hours since they hooked up with the XRPL. What you got to say about that? So this is how deep we are into the script, right? So Jamie Dimon finally woke the F up. How Citi is rethinking digital assets beyond hype to infrastructure. See, this just goes to show you how deep we are in the script. Banks are coming in now. They're rewriting their roles. In Act 1, they were nothing but the bad guys. And now Citi's CIDAP and Wisdom Tree seamless tokenization play is showing that the tide is turning and real rails are being built by the financial institution because the hype is over. Blockchain got them squirming because they full of shit. So it's time to change the diaper. Blockchain is unlocking value, freeing collateral, and redefining markets, interoperability, governance, risk. Yeah, all of that. All of that got them squirming. So it's time for a change. You know, what I really love to see, Ripple is developing a groundbreaking oracle that can tap directly into bank ledger data, positioning itself as a bridge between traditional finance and smart contract infrastructure. Welcome to the next wave of DeFi. But while they're doing that, Chainlink out here hating. They throwing shade on Ripple, still out here messing around. Chainlink will be at Cybos 2025, Swift's flagship annual conference for the financial industry. No representation for Ripple there, naturally. So that boy's subjective views had to hit back. Because you know the XRP army, we don't just let stuff slide. Naturally, you're retarded. Axiology, a fintech company providing DLT trading and settlement system for tokenized securities like digital bonds and fixed income instruments under the EU's DLT pilot regime, is built on the XRP ledger, baby. And they will be attended. Haters are going to always hate. And you know, this guy right here was a serious ass hater. You remember this guy, Da Vinci, old head from Bitcoin, Maxi? It's pretty funny to watch those who yell XRP will be zero now scrambling to put on their "we always believed" hats. Well, welcome to the club of those who figured it out. Sixfold later. Let's run it.
Do you own XRP? Do you buy
Yeah,
XRP? And you're wondering, am I doing the right thing? Well, I'm
yeah,
telling you,
hell
no,
yeah.
you're not. You need to get rid of this thing. Here's why.
XRP is going to approximately zero.
Oh, no. Come on. Really?
Zero.
No, there's got to be some value to XRP.
Zero.
How XRP is going to go to 4,761 this year.
Crypto fam, it's getting rough out here in this crypto street. So get your assets off the exchanges. Subscribe to this channel. Share the video. It'll help me out with the algorithm. And smash that like button. Because you know you want to smash. 9,000.